Deep underground, in the silence of these places, something unimaginable emerged. Figures unlike anything seen before.
¿Qué es eso?
Were they really aliens, or something even stranger?
Vámonos.
Stay tuned to watch these discoveries that defy explanation.
I'll show 666 level.
Mysterious encounter.
¡Venga tu madre!
Late one evening, a curious explorer decided to check out an old, abandoned place on the edge of town. As he walked through the empty halls, he heard strange noises echoing in the darkness. His heart raced as he followed the sounds. In the dim light, he captured footage of a strange black creature. It had patchy blonde hair and moved in a way he had never seen before. He noticed that thing doing strange stuff that freaked him out. The mysterious being disappeared from the place. It might be a ghost, an alien, or some unknown animal, but no one could explain its real identity. A winter night surprise. On a cold winter night in a small town, a local was walking when he noticed weird footprints in the fresh snow. They didn't look like any animal tracks he knew. Curious, he decided to follow them and see where they led. As he walked, behind some bushes, two glowing eyes were staring right at him. They didn't look like any animal eyes. As he looked closer, he could make out an odd shape, a creature unlike anything on Earth. The strange being watched him for a moment, then quickly locale ran away. People in town said an alien had visited their village that snowy night. Lost in woods. Near a small city, a resident was passing near that place scared when heard strange voices. He heard rustling behind an abundant place. There was a weird creature. It had huge black eyes. Its body was skinny and tall, typical features of an alien. He couldn't see colors well in the dark, but the being looked grayish. When the flashlight beam hit it, the creature seemed upset by the bright light. It moved back, its big skull-like head turning away. Before he could do anything else, the alien-looking being slipped away in the dark. Midnight mystery. One night in the woods near some hills, something odd happened. A few people were awake and heard strange noises coming from the rocky hillside. Curious and a bit scared, they decided to check it out. As they got closer, among the stones was a creature with a big, weird skull and huge black eyes. Its skin looked pale. The being was making the strange noises they had heard from town. Suddenly, that thing noticed the people watching. It stopped making sounds and stared at them for a moment. Then, before anyone could do anything, it quickly disappeared. Spooky night. A person experienced a scary moment on a lonely hill. He was walking there and saw something that made them stop and stare. On top of the hill was a strange shape.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso?
The person took out their camera to take footage of that. In the footage, there was a big figure with its back turned. It had what looked like wings coming out of its back, like a giant bat. On its head was something pointy, like a horn. The creature was bigger than a person and reminded them of the scary statues on old buildings. The figure might be a monster, a giant bird, or maybe something from scary stories.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Frightening night. Two friends were hanging out one night when they heard weird noises coming from the nearby hill. They thought it might be fun to check it out, but they were in for a scary surprise. As they climbed the hill, the noises got louder. Suddenly, a skinny white creature was seen. It had huge horns on its head like a devil, but the scariest part was its smile. It was wide and creepy. The friends couldn't move. They were too scared. The creature just stood there, grinning at them. Then, without warning, it disappeared. Visitor in forest. This hiker was walking through the forest when he noticed something odd behind some bushes. As he looked closer, his eyes grew wide. There, walking behind the bushes, was a tall, gray entity. It was huge. The alien had a big head with huge black eyes. Its body was skinny and gray, just like in the movies. The hiker couldn't move, he was so shocked. He quickly took out his phone and snapped a video. But when he looked up again, the alien was gone. That video he took became famous, making people think if aliens really are visiting Earth's forests. Scary secret from Area 51. Have you ever wondered what secrets Area 51 might be hiding? One day, a spooky video came out that made people think they had found out. The video showed someone walking through dark, cold rooms with just a small light. They were looking for a way out. In one room, he heard a gross, white, mossy thing growing behind the door. Then, the person opened a door and saw something that made him regret coming here. There was a strange orange creature inside. It looked at the light like it was hoping for food. The person ran away, scared. People think this video came from someone who worked at Area 51. Strange creature. A video appeared which apparently has no explanation. In the video of a sewer was a reptilian creature. The video was in black and white. It got some kind of long, tube-like thing in front of it. It was there for some time, and then went back in the dark sewer and was never seen again till now. No one knows the reality. But they found claw marks on the floor. The internet was buzzing with talk about the attic monster. Some folks said it was just a big lizard, while others thought it might be an alien. No one ever saw it again. Cave creature. Have you ever wondered what secrets hide in dark caves? One explorer found out, and it gave him the scare of his life. As he entered one cave, his flashlight beam caught an unbelievable thing. There, in the shadows, stood a skinny figure with bright, glowing eyes staring right at him. The creature was so thin, it almost looked like a skeleton. Its pale skin seemed to glow in the dark. Before the visitor could even blink, the creepy figure darted deeper into the cave. The explorer searched, but the mysterious being had vanished without a trace. To this day, no one knows what the cave creature was or where it went. Jungle mystery. As we all know, there are so many secrets in the wild forests. A nature lover got more than he bargained for on a recent trip. A visitor was enjoying a peaceful day in some remote woods. Suddenly, something huge appeared in his video. It was a giant creature with big, black eyes and an enormous skull. This strange being just stood there staring at the camera. It was so big, it made the trees look small. After a few scary minutes, the creature slowly turned and walked back into the thick jungle. It moved surprisingly quietly for its size. The visitor searched, but couldn't find any trace of the giant. Tree elf of Peru.
This the spot. Nah, come back out.
Have you ever looked closely at trees and wondered if something magical might be hiding inside? A guy in Peru saw something that made him think twice about ordinary trees. He was walking in Peru, filming the beautiful nature around him. Suddenly, he spotted something moving on a nearby tree. It wasn't a bird or a squirrel. It was a tiny, human-like creature. The little being was small in size.
Spot. This the spot. Nah, come back out.
As soon as it noticed the man watching, it scurried into a small hole in the tree. The man searched around the tree, but the little creature was gone. Are there really tiny people living in trees in Peru? Cave ghost mystery. Two friends had a scary adventure that they'll never forget. Last month, they decided to explore a big cave in the mountains. As they were walking, they saw something move behind some big rocks. It looked like a ghost. The face wasn't clear, but it seemed really weird and creepy. The guys wanted to get a closer look, but the rocks were too big to climb over. The ghostly thing didn't show up again. Was it really a ghost? Or maybe just their imagination? Nobody knows for sure, but now they always bring extra flashlights when they go exploring. Mysterious creature. Two friends were on an adventure in the deep forests. They were recording their journey, hoping to capture some exciting moments. As they wandered, they stumbled upon a hidden cave. Curious and excited, they walked towards the cave entrance. Suddenly, a strange creature with a bizarre-looking skull appeared. It was on 4 feet and looked terrifying. The sight of the creature was horrifying. Without a second thought, they turned and ran as fast as they could. They never went back to that forest, and the video of the creature remains a mystery. What was that creature? No one knows, and the friends never returned to find out. Mysterious sighting. A man was visiting an old place perched high above the city. As he admired the view, he noticed an unusual activity. A short figure with an odd-looking face appeared out of nowhere. The sight was unsettling, and the man couldn't look away. It wasn't that big in size, but definitely a weird being watching him, and it was surely an alien. Before he could get a better look, the mysterious figure disappeared, leaving him with a lingering sense of unease. What was it? The man left the old place, never forgetting the strange encounter. Nighttime alien sighting. One night in a forest, a man noticed something unusual. A figure that looked like a gray alien leaned out from behind the trees. It had the typical features of an alien: large black eyes and a slender body. Before the man could react, the alien quickly hid behind the trees again. The sight was so startling that the man couldn't believe his eyes. He watched the spot for a while, but the alien didn't reappear. The man left the forest, wondering if he had really seen an extraterrestrial being. Strange figure in cave. In a dark cave, a man ventured deep inside and saw something peculiar. At the end of the cave, a very strange black figure was sitting. The figure held a stick-like object in its hand, adding to the eerie atmosphere. The man felt so scared as he tried to understand what he was seeing. He watched for a moment, but the figure didn't move. Uneasy, the man left the cave quickly, the image of the mysterious figure etched in his mind. Tall, white visitors. Two tall, skinny figures came in a hospital room. These figures were white and looked nothing like anything we had ever seen before. The staff watched, being scared and curious. One of the strange beings seemed to be carrying something, but it was hard to see clearly, their long arms swinging as they walked. They wondered if these could be aliens from another world. Just as quickly as they appeared, the tall, white figures vanished just after they left that room. It was hard to believe for the staff what they just saw, but still, it was true. Area 51's terrifying secret. Inside Area 51, a place known for its mysteries, a scientist who worked there had a scary story to tell. He said he saw a creepy beast come out of a hidden tunnel. The being had a head that looked like a dinosaur skull, but it wasn't from Earth's past. The scientist said it was an alien from another world. Its body was unlike any animal we know, but the scariest part was its voice. When it made sounds, they were so scary and weird that everyone who heard them felt afraid. It disappeared back into the tunnel before anyone could study it closely. Park encounter. One afternoon, a teenager was making a fun video in the local park. He was just filming the trees and playground when from his right side, he heard a weird noise that made him turn his camera quickly. What he saw next was so strange, a small, gray creature. Its body was odd-shaped, and it moved unnaturally. The teen couldn't believe his eyes. It looked just like the aliens he'd seen in movies. Before he could get a better look, the creature ran into a small building in the park. The teenager rushed over, but when he looked inside, it was gone. He searched everywhere but found no trace. Mysterious visitor. A family had set up a camera to watch their stuff, but when they checked the footage the next morning, they saw something they never expected. The video showed a small creature with a triangular-shaped face peeking out from behind stuff. Its eyes glowed white in the darkness, making it look scary and not of this world. Its motion was in a jerky way, unlike any animal they knew. It seemed to stare right at the camera for a few seconds, and then the odd visitor ducked back behind the stuff. It might have been something from another planet. Mountain discovery. While hiking in the misty mountains of Vietnam, a brave explorer had a scary surprise. As he walked along a steep, rocky path, he suddenly saw a grayish creature lying still on the ground. It had huge eyes that seemed to take up most of its face, and its head was big and shaped differently than normal ones. The creature looked like it came from another world. The hiker quickly took out his camera and snapped a video. He looked around, wondering if there were more, but this alien-like being was all alone. People were arguing about whether he'd found proof of life from outer space or if it was something else entirely. Scary night. In a dark forest, a camper settled in for the night. Little did he know, something strange was waiting nearby. The camper heard odd noises outside his tent. Curious but scared, he grabbed his flashlight and peeked out. There, sitting in the grass, was a pale, skinny creature with no hair. Its bright eyes stared right at him. The camper didn't wait to find out what it was. He ran as fast as he could, leaving everything behind. No one knows what the creature was, or if it's still in those woods. But campers now tell stories about the pale forest ghost to scare their friends on dark nights. Parking lot encounter. This man walked to his car in a parking lot. He had no idea he was about to see something out of this world. As he reached for his car door, he spotted movement between the parked vehicles. There, scurrying from car to car, was a small, pale creature. Its skin looked smooth and ghostly white, and it moved in a weird, jerky way. The man froze, not believing his eyes. Was this really happening? Before he could get a better look, the creature zipped away into the darkness. Left alone in the lot, the man kept thinking about this strange creature. Mexican forest discovery. In a Mexican forest, a tourist stumbled upon something that would make headlines around the world. While hiking, the tourist spotted an odd shape on the ground. As he got closer, there was some kind of organism. It had a weird skull and a skinny body that looked too weak to support its head. The tourist was sure he had found an alien. Scientists rushed to the forest to study the strange being after watching the same video. But when they got there, the creature wasn't there. No one knows what happened to it. Did it wake up and wander away? Or did someone take it? The mystery of the Mexican forest alien remains unsolved. Creepy crawlers. One peaceful night in the woods turned into a camper's worst nightmare. A strange creature was lurking nearby. The camper was sitting by his tent when he heard a rustling in the bushes. Suddenly, out jumped a creature like nothing he'd ever seen before. It had 6 legs more than any normal animal. The creature's body was long and bumpy, with a head that looked like an alien. Its many legs moved in a wave as it scuttled towards the camper. Scared out of his wits, the camper grabbed his backpack and ran as fast as he could. Teleported visitor. Something strange happened in a quiet neighborhood. A family's trail camera caught a sight that left everyone scratching their heads. The camera recorded a small, mysterious being appearing out of thin air, right in front of the house. It has black eyes. This little creature wasn't walking. It was zipping around like a super fast bug. The strange visitor zoomed into the house through a tiny crack. Inside, it darted from room to room, moving so fast it was just a blur. After a few minutes of zipping around, it suddenly stopped. Nobody knows, but the neighbors are now keeping their eyes peeled for more surprise visitors. Forest giant. A hiker in a dense forest had a saw that he'll never forget. He peeked from height when they saw something that made them freeze. It was a huge, black figure. It was as skinny but tall as the trees around it. This thing looked human-like, but no person could be that tall. The giant creature moved from one side to another, its dark form blending with the shadows. Then, without a sound, it moved deeper into the forest and disappeared. The hiker ran back to town to tell their story. People wondered if it was an alien or some unknown forest being. Backyard crawler. One family got a big surprise when they checked their backyard camera. It was a strange creature that appeared on the screen. It was huge and super skinny, like a giant stick figure. The creature wasn't walking, it was crawling on all fours. It came out of the shadows on one side of the yard, moving in a creepy way. The giant crawler moved slowly across the grass. It could be some kind of monster, or maybe a really big animal. They're keeping a close eye on their backyard now, wondering if the mysterious crawler will return. Alien artifact in Mexico. In Veracruz, Mexico, a strange artifact was discovered. It looked like a statue, but locals believed it was once an alien. According to the story, the alien was captured and transformed itself into a statue to avoid detection. The artifact had an otherworldly appearance, making it hard for experts to determine if it was a real alien or just a cleverly made statue. Despite many studies, its true nature remains a mystery. This puzzling object now sits in a museum, leaving everyone wondering if it's a piece of extraterrestrial history or a remarkable creation. Forest's mysterious figure. In a forest, a man noticed something moving behind the trees. It was a skinny, weird-looking creature with a big skull. The figure darted from tree to tree, never staying in one spot for long. The man tried to get a closer look, but the creature was too fast. It seemed to vanish into forest, leaving him puzzled and a bit scared. Despite searching, the man couldn't find any trace of the strange being. What was it? The forest kept it secret, and the creature was never seen again. Winter forest encounter. One snowy night in a winter forest, a man noticed something strange. Amidst the white landscape, a face appeared. It had a very strange, almost otherworldly look. Only the face was visible, emerging eerily from the darkness. The man stood frozen in fear, unable to comprehend what he was seeing. In an instant, the face goes back into the forest, leaving the man shaken and bewildered. He quickly left the area, never to forget the horrifying sight. Security camera figure. A short video from a security camera shows a bizarre scene. In the footage, a figure is seen walking down a corridor. The most unsettling part is that the figure appears to be a human, but without a torso. The body moves oddly, with just legs and arms visible. The lack of a torso makes it look unnatural and eerie. The strange figure disappears from the camera's view, leaving viewers puzzled and intrigued by what they just saw. Mysterious figure encounter. One night, a man was driving home through a deserted area. Suddenly, a strange figure appeared in the headlights. It looked like a woman with long, messy hair, wearing a white dress and holding a stick in her left hand. The figure was terrifying and started coming towards the car. The man felt scared. He quickly put the car in reverse and drove away as fast as he could. Was she a ghost or something else? The man didn't wait to find out and never drove that route again, leaving the mystery unsolved. Mayan cave discovery. A team of explorers in Mexico found something that left them speechless. In the jungle, some researchers were checking out old Mayan caves and saw an extraordinary thing. There, lying on the ground, was a strange body. It had a big, weird skull and black eyes, just like people imagine aliens having. The body had strange symbols written all over it, like secret codes or alien language. The team called in experts to study the discovery. They are now trying to figure out what this strange body is. Could it be proof of aliens visiting Earth long ago? Or maybe it's an unknown ancient creature. For now, the Mayan cave alien remains a big mystery that has everyone talking. Strange light. 5 friends were exploring an old cave. As they went deeper inside, they saw a bright light coming from around a corner. It was so bright in the dim cave that it made them curious. They moved closer. They couldn't believe their eyes. A light coming out of that weird figure. It didn't look human or like any animal they knew. The shape was blurry and hard to see clearly, but it was scary to watch. The friends were too afraid to get closer. They stood frozen, watching the strange figure move in the light. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the figure and the light vanished. The cave went dark again. The 5 friends ran out, their hearts racing. They told others about what they saw, but no one could explain the weird figure in the cave. It's time for today's open discussion. One night, some friends were hanging out in a park. They were having fun when suddenly they saw something odd. It was a black thing with big, dark eyes and strange-looking ears. Some people said it looked like a djinn, a kind of magic creature from stories. The friends took a video of it, but they were too scared to get close. Nobody knows what the black thing really was. Some think it was just an animal, but others believe it was something extraterrestrial. The video went around town, and now lots of people are talking about it. Will anyone ever find out what the strange black thing was? For now, it's still a big mystery. Do share your opinions in the comments below.